Chanakya once said, "Education is the best friend. An educated person is respected everywhere. Education beats the beauty and the youth." Welcome to our exploration of Chanakya and his political strategies. Today we delve into the life and teachings of an extraordinary figure who profoundly influenced the course of Indian history. Born in the ancient city of Pataliputra, now Patna, in the 3rd century BC, Chanakya, also known as Kautilya or Vishnugupta, was a philosopher, economist, and an astute political strategist. Chanakya's wisdom was not confined to the pages of a book. His teachings were brought to life through his actions and his strategies. He was the guiding force behind the rise of the Mauryan Empire, the first large-scale empire in South Asia, and the advisor to its first emperor, Chandragupta Maurya. The essence of Chanakya's philosophy lies in his treatise, the Arthashastra. A comprehensive guide to statecraft and economic policy, the Arthashastra remains relevant even today, more than 2,000 years after it was written. It is a testament to Chanakya's deep understanding of human nature and the dynamics of power. Chanakya's teachings are not limited to politics. They extend to all aspects of life, from personal growth to social relations. He believed in the power of knowledge, the importance of discipline, and the value of ethical conduct. His aphorisms, known as Chanakya Niti, are a treasure trove of practical wisdom, offering guidance on a wide range of topics, from leadership to personal finance. Despite his contributions to Indian politics and society, Chanakya is not a figure of the past. His teachings continue to resonate in the present, influencing thinkers, leaders, and scholars across the world. His insights into governance, economics, and human behavior are as pertinent today as they were in ancient India. So let's embark on this journey through the lens of time to learn from the wisdom of a man who shaped an empire with his intellect and strategic acumen. Chanakya's teachings are not just philosophical, they are practical strategies for life and politics. Chanakya was not just a philosopher, he was a master strategist. This statement holds weight as we delve into the depth of his political acumen. He played an instrumental role in the formation of the Maurya Empire, one of the world's largest, most powerful empires in its time. Chanakya's political strategies were a blend of cunning and wisdom. He believed in the power of information. He established an elaborate network of spies across the kingdom, gathering intelligence on potential threats and opportunities. They were his eyes and ears, a crucial component of his strategy. This network was not just for the king's protection, but also to keep a pulse on the welfare of the kingdom's subjects. Let's take a closer look at one such example. It's said that Chanakya once noticed a mother scolding her child for eating his food starting from the center rather than the edges. This simple observation led Chanakya to devise a military strategy. He advised King Chandragupta Maurya to attack the enemy's center instead of the borders, leading to a swift victory. Such was the brilliance of his strategic thinking. Chanakya also emphasized the importance of diplomatic relations in maintaining a stable and prosperous kingdom. He believed that a wise king should always strive for peace through diplomacy before resorting to war. Trade, treaties, and alliances were all tools in his diplomatic arsenal. He understood that a kingdom's strength didn't solely depend on its military might, but also on its relationships and reputation with other kingdoms. He had a visionary approach to politics. His strategies were not just about gaining and maintaining power, but also about ensuring the welfare of the people. His ultimate goal was to create a just and fair society. He believed in the rule of law, accountability, and the importance of education and moral values in maintaining social order. So the next time you come across a tricky situation, remember Chanakya. His wisdom might just hold the key to your solution. After all, Chanakya's strategies were not just about power, they were about creating a just and fair society. Chanakya was a proponent of diplomacy and negotiation. This ancient Indian philosopher and strategist who lived over 2,000 years ago knew that the power of words could be mightier than the sword. His teachings on diplomacy and negotiation were revolutionary, and they continue to hold relevance today. Consider this anecdote from the historic texts. Chanakya, serving as the advisor to the Mauryan Empire, was tasked with negotiating peace with a neighboring kingdom. Rather than resort to threats or intimidation, Chanakya chose a different approach. He began by understanding the needs and desires of the other kingdom. finding common ground where their interests aligned with those of the Mauryan Empire. By focusing on mutual benefit, Chanakya was able to broker a peace that lasted for decades. But the art of diplomacy, according to Chanakya, goes beyond just negotiation. It's about understanding the human psyche, about knowing when to speak and when to listen, about the careful balance between assertiveness and humility. It's about building relationships based on trust and respect. In another instance, Chanakya was faced with a rebellion within the Mauryan Empire. Instead of crushing the rebellion with force, he decided to engage in dialogue with the rebels. He listened to their grievances, acknowledged their concerns, and assured them that their voices were heard. This approach not only quelled the rebellion, but it also strengthened the bond between the empire and its people. In essence, Chanakya's approach to diplomacy was not just about resolving conflicts or making deals. It was about creating an environment of mutual respect and understanding, about fostering relationships that could stand the test of time. It was about recognizing the inherent dignity and worth of every individual and treating them with the respect they deserved. Chanakya's teachings remind us that diplomacy isn't just a tool for politicians or diplomats. It's a skill that can be applied in our everyday interactions, in our relationships with friends, family, and colleagues. It's about finding common ground, about understanding and respecting others, about building bridges instead of walls. Chanakya understood that diplomacy was not just about making deals, it was about building relationships. For Chanakya, knowledge was power. This wasn't just a catchphrase, but a principle he lived by. More than 2,000 years ago, Chanakya, with his profound understanding of politics and human nature, rose from a humble background to become one of the most influential advisors in the Mauryan Empire. Chanakya's story is a testament to the transformative power of knowledge. Born in a modest family, he didn't have the privileges that many of his contemporaries enjoyed. But he had something more powerful, an insatiable thirst for knowledge. He dedicated his life to learning, absorbing wisdom from every source he could find, and it was this knowledge that eventually opened the doors of the royal court to him. But Chanakya didn't hoard this knowledge. He believed in the democratization of education, in spreading wisdom to all corners of the society. He was a staunch advocate of public education, understanding that an enlightened populace was the backbone of a strong, prosperous nation. This is why he established schools and learning centers, ensuring that education was accessible to everyone, regardless of their social standing. One of the most telling anecdotes about Chanakya's belief in the power of knowledge involves a simple game of chess. It is said that Chanakya, despite being a skilled player, intentionally lost a game to a commoner. When asked why, he simply replied, "Every defeat is a lesson, every loss, an opportunity to learn." This story encapsulates Chanakya's philosophy. Knowledge was not just about winning, it was about growth, evolution, and transformation. This emphasis on knowledge wasn't just a personal mantra for Chanakya. It was a vision for society, a blueprint for a nation where everyone had the opportunity to learn, to grow, to better themselves. For him, knowledge wasn't a privilege to be hoarded, but a resource to be shared, a spark to ignite the fire of progress. Chanakya believed that knowledge was not just a tool for personal advancement, it was a tool for societal transformation. He knew that a society's strength lies not in its weapons or wealth, but in the wisdom of its people. And it's this belief that continues to inspire us today. Chanakya's influence extends beyond his lifetime. This statement rings truer today than ever before. Known for his sharp intellect and strategic acumen, Chanakya crafted principles and strategies that have stood the test of time. But how does his legacy live on in modern India? Let's delve into this fascinating journey. Chanakya's teachings, encapsulated in his books, the Arthashastra and Chanakya Niti, have had a profound influence on Indian politics. His principles of statecraft and governance, emphasizing moral and ethical leadership, are still considered a benchmark. For instance, the idea of a welfare state, where the ruler's primary duty is to ensure the well-being of his subjects, resonates strongly with the democratic principles of modern India. His teachings have also significantly influenced society. The precepts of Chanakya Niti, which advocate honesty, integrity, and self-discipline, still hold sway over the Indian mindset. They serve as a moral compass, guiding individuals to lead righteous lives. Let's take a look at some anecdotes that underline his enduring legacy. One of the most prominent stories involves the founding of the Maurya Empire. Chanakya's strategic brilliance and diplomatic finesse were instrumental in transforming a young Chandragupta into a powerful emperor. This tale of mentorship and wisdom has inspired countless leaders and continues to be a beacon of inspiration. In the realm of education, Chanakya's influence continues to be felt. His emphasis on knowledge as power, the need for comprehensive learning, and the importance of ethical conduct are principles that guide modern educational institutions. Moreover, Chanakya's wisdom transcends the borders of India. His theories on economics, politics, and diplomacy are studied worldwide, further amplifying his enduring legacy. So you see, Chanakya's influence is not confined to history books. It's alive in the principles that guide our leaders, in the values that shape our society, in the stories that inspire us, and in the wisdom that educates us. Chanakya's teachings continue to influence and inspire us today. His legacy is a testament to the timeless relevance of his wisdom and the enduring impact of his ideas. As we reflect on Chanakya's life and teachings, one thing is clear: this ancient scholar's wisdom, crafted over 2 millennia ago, still resonates piercingly in our modern world. In our journey through the life of this master strategist, we've seen how he sculpted an empire from the raw clay of political turmoil. His sharp insight into the human psyche, his understanding of power dynamics, and his strategic foresight were the cornerstone of his success. A master of statecraft, his principles form the foundation of political science even today. We then delved into the art of diplomacy, as practiced by Chanakya. His teachings emphasize the importance of negotiation and alliance building in maintaining a stable state. He understood that the strength of a kingdom lay not just in its military might, but also in its diplomatic ties and trade relationships. His diplomatic acumen was truly ahead of his time. Next, we explored the power of knowledge as Chanakya saw it. For him, knowledge was the greatest weapon one could wield. He believed that an enlightened mind could outmaneuver any physical force. His teachings encourage us to constantly seek knowledge, as it is the key to understanding and mastering the world around us. Reflecting on Chanakya's legacy, we see how his teachings continue to influence global leaders and decision-makers. His insights into statecraft, diplomacy, and the power of knowledge are as relevant today as they were in ancient India. They serve as a guidepost for anyone navigating the complex terrain of leadership and governance. In the words of Chanakya, the world's biggest power is the youth and beauty of a woman. But remember, the true power lies in the wisdom and knowledge of the mind. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Chanakya and his teachings. Through this journey, we hope you've gained a deeper appreciation for the enduring wisdom of this ancient scholar.